full-time programs in the School of Trades and Apprenticeships are really intended to provide you with the hands-on experience and knowledge about the trade to help make you more appealing to employers. So we have all different levels of skills in our shops, but the faculty does a really great job of teaching everybody what they need to know, the proper way of doing it, and everything like that from the ground up. So like Suzanne mentioned, it's a really great stepping stone to help you gain employment. So there's been some talk about apprenticeships, and I'm just going to do a very brief overview of what an apprenticeship is. So an apprenticeship is on-the-job training for people who want to pursue a career in a skilled trade. And your path to an apprenticeship begins when you enter a contract with an employer who needs a skilled trades person. So you must be employed to begin an apprenticeship, and 90% of your apprenticeship is done on the job. So you start working right from day one. And then 10% is done in a classroom, and it's usually spread out through time. So general rule of thumb is you work for a year, and then you'll come to school for an 8-week in-school portion. You work for a year, you come to school for an 8-week in-school portion. And an apprenticeship can take anywhere from 3 to 5 years, depending on the trade that you're interested in. And you earn pay during the process. And so again, our full-time programs that I'm going to mention are just great pathways to employment, either into an apprenticeship or just going out into work. When you're talking about an apprenticeship, they are divided up into 2 different categories. So you have compulsory and non-compulsory. And compulsory, another word you can use is mandatory. You have to do it. And non-compulsory means you don't have to go through for an apprenticeship to be able to work in the field, but the opportunity is there, but you can be very successful working without going through for an apprenticeship. So again, non-compulsory means trades that you're able to work in without having to go through for an apprenticeship. And compulsory means that you have to complete an apprenticeship to be able to work in that field. I have broken them up into the different sections. So again, these are full-time programs at Conestoga that are going to help give you the hands-on experience and knowledge to help make you more appealing to employers. And all of these career outcomes, you can just go right into the workforce and be very successful working in. So construction techniques, brick and stone, that program is only about a 32-week-long program. And it's short, focusing heavily on bringing you in and giving you the skills to be a brick and stone mason. So laying brick, learning how to mix mortar, getting comfortable with your troweling skills, laying brick and block walls. There's also a bit of stone work, learning how to cut and do some of the fixing and repairing as well. So if you want to get into woodworking, at Conestoga, woodworking and carpentry are very different. So woodworking would lead to more of the fine detailed architectural millwork, cabinet making, furniture building, maybe working for a custom staircase builder, things like that. And the woodworking technician, there's 2 programs. There's a 2-year and a 3-year with an optional co-op. So again, co-ops are great opportunities for you to try to prove yourself as a good employee to a company. And a lot of times co-ops do end up in job opportunities for students. And then there is quite a bit of machining at Conestoga. We have a mechanical technician, CNC, a mechanical so that's computer numerical control. So putting in commands to a computer, and then the machine does the cutting and the work to create a product. So somebody has to be that person to put the commands in the into the computer. And then there's precision machining and tooling, tool and die maker, and a general machinist. So all of those have certain specialties, but the great thing about our machining programs at Conestoga is the first semester is very common throughout. So you do get a chance to try, get a little bit of exposure to the areas to really help you figure out what area is right for you. And it is an easy transition to focus on a different type of machining. So all of our machining programs do touch on all of the aspects just to help you figure it out, because it is tough if you've never had exposure to those areas to know which one you want to get into. The precision machining and tooling is a very interesting one. It really does cover all of the different types of machining as well, to help make a better informed decision for you. And then I did mention briefly that woodworking and construction or carpentry are very different. So the next two on the list are construction techniques, carpentry and renovation technician. And those are going to be more of the construction-based program. So dealing with large-scale building, focusing on concrete forming, interior, exterior finishes, roofing, tiling, basically all the skills that you need to get out and get working, either building houses, doing renovations on houses. There is a bit of the 2-year renovation technician program. There is a bit of the outdoor decking and fences as well. So the construction techniques, carpentry and renovation technician, they do share a common first year. So you are learning the skills to get out and get working. And the second year of the renovation and carpentry technician program focuses a little bit more on the renovation piece. How to come up with a materials list, how to do a drawing for a job, how to maybe renovate a kitchen, basement, that sort of stuff. And then at Conestoga, we have a whole motive power trade campus currently that houses a heavy duty equipment program, specifically automotive specific programs, and truck and coach. But when we're dealing with automotive, some of them fall into the non-compulsory trades and some of them fall into the compulsory trades. So the non-compulsory trades, so programs you can take and just go right out into work after, would be motive power, would be in the heavy duty equipment repair, which would be fixing the large backhoes, dozers, excavators that you see out there. And this trade does work very different than a lot of the other motive power trades do. This trade, you would get most likely a truck equipped with tools to go out to the site and be able to fix equipment and repair the large equipment on site. So it is a very unique, very interesting trade. And then there's also heavy equipment operation. And heavy equipment operating is learning how to operate those heavy equipment. So backhoes, dozers, excavators, all of those huge equipment that you see on construction sites. And you do get a lot of seat time in each piece of equipment, which really does help prepare you to be successful and employable. And just to highlight the difference, so fixing and repairing is one trade, and then operating is a different trade. We have a very unique program, electromechanical and automation maintenance program, which is a 2-year program. And that program actually focuses on industrial electrician, industrial millwright, as well as the automation and robotics. So a very well-rounded, highly employable program coming out, or you are highly employable coming out of this program. There is a co-op in between. You can go a number of different ways and focus on a number of different industry aspects after that program. And then if you are just interested in the millwright side of things, which a millwright is basically a jack of all trades, they can fix and repair, troubleshoot, basically anything. Millwright can work for a factory and fix all of their machines right on site, or a millwright could even work for a ski resort and fix their gondola system. So there's a billion different things that a millwright does, and it is very, you're very skilled and you are very in demand as well. And then there's welding. So welding is one of those trades. There are a lot of different types of welder you could be. And if you're not really sure where to start, or if you haven't had any opportunity for any exposure to welding, Welding Techniques is a year-long program, great starting point. It introduces you to all of the different types of welding that there is. And you can be very successful going into employment after the 1-year program. You do get a lot of the welding skills that you need to go out and get working. And then there is also a 2-year welding and fabrication technician program. So those two programs, again, share a common first year. So they're giving you the skills about welding. And then the 2-year welding and fabrication, the second year really focuses on the fabrication and technician, or the fabrication piece of welding. So that's going to leave you even more employable and leave your doors open. Welding is huge. You can do a number of things with welding. The government always puts a lot of money into welding too, if they're building different things at different times. So welding, great skills if you are looking to get into that trade too. Lots of employment opportunity. So the compulsory trades. So just to reiterate, these are trades that once you were to graduate from a full-time program, you would need to be connected with an employer and go through a traditional apprenticeship to be able to work successfully in these fields here. So to be an automotive service technician. So we have a 2-year and a 1-year program. The 1 year is motive power fundamentals, automotive repair. And the 2-year is motive power technician, automotive service. They both share a common first year, giving you the goods to get out and be very employable. So all the skills, even taking apart, rebuilding engines, brakes, all the stuff that goes along with being an automotive repair, but technician, but you do get a lot of the hands-on skills to be employable after year 1. What year 2 focuses on is a little more of the business aspects. So maybe if you're looking to move up from being a service technician or opening your own shop one day, it also focuses on the hybrid alternative fuel energy systems. So there are a lot of different types of alternative fuel energy systems in all types of motive power. So the second year really focuses on that, which is huge in industry as well, in all types of motive power. So great options 1 or 2. And really we have both because it's all about getting you to an employment. So if the 1 year is right for you, that's great. If the 2 years right for you too, also great. So they're flexible as well. So meaning if you're in the 1 year, you're able to go, once you complete the 1 year program, if you decide you want to move on further, you are able to go directly into the second year of the 2-year programs. So it's an easy transition. And then motorcycle and powersport vehicles. So fixing and repairing motorcycles, but as well, snowmobiles, jet skis, quads, the gators, all of those different types of powersport vehicles. The motorcycle piece, there's a lot of different types of motorcycles, even electric is even prominent in motive power, in motorcycle trades. So there's also motive power techniques, truck and coach, and then a 1 and a 2 year for that. So that's fixing and repairing big transport trucks that you see out there, which we all know they move everything. So there's a huge demand for the other side, not just driving, but fixing and repairing them. And again, the 1 and 2 year to make an easy transition. The 1 year is focusing on getting you out and getting working, teaching you all about engines and how they work, hydraulic systems for brakes and all that. And then the heating, refrigeration, and air conditioning program, which Banu was talking about at the beginning. It is a fabulous program. That trade encompasses a lot of different aspects: heating, cooling, refrigeration, gas. So this program also helps you figure out which area of the trade you want to focus on for that too. There's even in that program, you learn geothermal, which is pretty awesome. So geothermal is a different way of using ground temperatures to heat and cool. So just new technologies as well. There's a 1 year electrical techniques, which is a great introduction to all things electrical, if electrical is of interest to you. And then a plumbing program. So if you want to be a plumber, there's a program that focuses strictly on plumbing as well.